Hey everybody, thank you for taking the time to visit my channel and let's get right back into it. So welcome back everybody, and if you have taken the time to watch my prior video where I talked about the Septuagint Bible, it's going to be really crucial when it comes to this video. I'll be skipping a little bit because I know it's a little bit long. I will I'll give it that, but because there's so much information that I have to portray for you guys, so I'm thinking about for my longer videos probably cutting it in half to give you guys a little bit more fluctuation, because I know there's only a little bit time in a day that some people have. So I will be looking into doing that. But yes, so if you haven't watched that video, I suggest you do before watching this. And to give you just a little rundown, we talked about the Septuagint Bible, and it's upcoming when it came in actually in Egypt in Alexandria, and how one of the librarians for Alexandria for apologize, not Alexandria, one of the librarians for Ptolemy II that reigned in Egypt during this area talked a plan to Ptolemy about having the Hebrew Bible in their luxurious library. So they found 72 elders from the 12 tribes and got them to write down the Old Testament in Greek, because, as I explained also, that during this time, Korean Greek was the main language that was spanned around this whole area. It wasn't Hebrew, so just wanted to give that to you first. So you could see how that might be a little bit alarming to some people, but as I say, if you watch the video, you'll see that too. But the main thing is that during the Hellenistic area, 300 BC all the way to 300 CE, the Hellenistic area, they practiced magic and astrology. And the reason I bring this up is because this was common throughout this whole time. Everybody knew this. Well, anybody that had an education. Well, this was common knowledge. So, and what's funny to me is that there's actually astronomy/astrology in the Bible in this certain verse, as you see from the title. But the weird thing is that this isn't supposed to be there. As I said, when you do the deep dive, you keep seeing two things. Because for one instance, he says that you're not supposed to study this, not supposed to look at the stars and like this in this verse right here, as I'll show you. So you can see how there's a little bit of contradiction here, but there's actually multiple events when it comes to astrology in the Bible. But I wanted to dive deep on this one right here, and what it is the Bible verse of Isaiah when it comes to Lucifer, Isaiah 14 through 17. So really want to deep dive, because once we get through this whole verse, the whole verse, not that one little part, let's look at the whole chapter from the beginning, you'll see how things start to look a little bit different when you go to the etymology of these words and actually derive these words to their root language. Not English. You're staying on the English version. No, you have to go back now. I'm telling you, and once you see what these words mean in their original languages, things start to look different. So, yeah, so let's get right into this. I don't want to waste any of your time, because this is going to blow you guys' minds. I'm telling you, this is going to blow your mind, and please wait to the end, because I'm going to be giving you some esoteric. You heard it here. Esoteric teachings in the Bible that I don't think anybody's putting this together at all. I haven't seen anybody yet. You show them. Say it in the comments. Show me, but let's get right into it then, because you're going to be astounded about this. So let's start right here. And here we are on Bible Gateway. So you guys can do your own research. I always tell you guys, do your due diligence. So here he is right here. Isaiah 14, 1 through 17. I'll start with the 14 and I'm going to stop all the way to the second one. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will still choose Israel and settle them in their own land. The strangers will be joined with them, and they will cling to the house of Jacob. Then people will take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel will possess them for servants and maids. in the land of the Lord, they will take them captive, whose captives they were, and rule over their oppressors. Okay. And after that, you clearly says the fall of the king of Babylon. You need to remember this, people. I'm giving you guys context here. Remember, is this referring to the fall of the king of Babylon, right? So I'm a little strapped on time, but you can all see this, but I want to skip all the way to the good stuff because I'm going to use the verses only. The verses only. So here, this is all the everybody's scary part right here. Okay. How you have fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning, how you are cut down to the ground, you who weaken the nations. For you have said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will also sit on the mount of the congregation. On the farthest side of the north, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, yet you shall be brought down to Sheol, to the lowest depths of the pit. Those who glaze at you and consider you, saying, is the man who made the earth tremble, who shook kingdoms, who made the world as a wilderness and destroyed its cities, who did not open a house to his prisoner. I want to go back to 14:12. How you have fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning. Now, if you take this literally, just for face, you would think that Isaiah is talking about Lucifer, Satan, of course. But what he's actually referring to is the king of Babylon. Remember, mercy on Jacob 14, verse 1 through 2, before the third. They are talking about the king of Babylon, people. Do not get this confused now. This is where apologists and some Bible people will not tell you this. And I'm going to show you right here. Because who gave you your Bible, ladies and gentlemen, that you currently use right now? That is Rome, ladies and gentlemen. Rome gave you your Bible. So, what do they speak in? Latin. So, let's revert this back to its Latin stage. We're going to go further also, but let's go back to its original form, and you'll see something very interesting, as I'll show you here. Here we are, the Rev Bible, ReverendSteenEnglishVersion.com. Ladies and gentlemen, it's all here for you, I promise, I tell you. I'm always going to give you all the info so you can look stuff up yourself. So let's start going down. Here. I want to skip a little bit here. I'm going to highlight all this for you guys right here. Now let's read it. Here in Isaiah 14:12, remember, the Hebrew word is Hallel, and it literally means shining one. Shining one. In the Hebrew language, Hallel was used as a name for the planet Venus. Astrology? You got to do your homework, people. This in part explains how the Latin Vulgate arrived at the translation Lucifer, literally meaning light bringer. Because in Latin, remember I told you, if you're reading it in English, you're getting a mistranslation. I'm telling you right now, you have to go back and even further back, as we'll get into later on. But we're going to stay at Latin for right now. Lucifer was used for the planet Venus. The association between the shining one and the Venus also explains why so many versions say morning star. Venus was well known as the morning star, so Hallel meant shining one, and was used as a name for the planet Venus, which was the morning star. Bam, ladies and gentlemen. And this is less than 10 minutes into this video, and I'm just giving you guys knowledge that you can all look up. And here's where it gets more interesting. Further evidence that the shining was a reference to the planet Venus, which was being used as a hypocatastasis for the devil, is the fact that the Hebrew text reads shining one. But let me backtrack, because what's interesting is this word right here, hypocatastasis. Remember, this word was being used as a hypocatastasis for the devil. So what does hypocatastasis mean? Hypocatastasis is a figure of speech. What? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, hypocatastasis is a figure of speech that declares or implies a resemblance, representation, or comparison. It differs from a metaphor because in a metaphor, the two nouns are both named and given, while a hypocatastasis only is one is named, other is implied, or as it were, is put down underneath out of sight. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen. It's right there. This is just Isaiah comparing Lucifer to the king of Babylon at this time. And it's plain to see here, people. Like I said, I'm bringing it back. Further evidence is a reference to the planet Venus, which was being used as the hypocatastasis for the devil. Bam, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't even get more crazier than that. And just to show you, to reinsert ourselves, because I like to give you multiple sources, you'll see there, Hallel, Hebrew, morning star. The Hebrew word Hallel, the word Hallel, appears only once in the Old Testament, in Isaiah 14:12. This is a word that the King James Version and the King James Version translate as Lucifer. According to Strong references, Hallel means morning star. According to Brown Drivers Briggs, Hallel means morning star or shining one. I'm telling you, people, you've got to do your research. All this information is just right here for us to be seen. So now, we just seen that Isaiah 14 through 17, 14, 12, when he's referring to Lucifer, son of the morning, he's actually comparing the star, Venus, to the Babylonian king at the time. So when I say this is, how would they know the star Venus if you're not looking up in the heavens and documenting and looking at these and logging down these events in the heavens? This all contests to astrology/astronomy, ladies and gentlemen. And if you don't understand astrology, then you might not know about Venus and its actual transfer. The morning star is an appearance of the planet Venus, an inferior planet, meaning that its orbit lies between that of Earth and the Sun. Ooh, that's a good one, ladies and gentlemen. Depending on the orbital locations of both Venus and Earth, it could be seen in the eastern morning sky for an hour or so before the sun rises and dims it, or as an evening star in the western evening sky for an hour or so after the sun sets. When Venus itself then sets, Venus is the brightest object in the sky after the sun and moon, outshine the planets Jupiter and Saturn. But while these rise high in the sky, Venus never does. This may lie behind myths about deities associated with the morning star, proudly striving for the highest place among the gods and being cast down. I mean, bam, there it is again, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, Isaiah 14:12, being cast down. I mean, I can't give it to you guys any more clear, but this is where I have to turn your head because it doesn't end all there, ladies and gentlemen. Because when I tell you I'm crazy about this information, like how I am, like when I'm about to show you, it's just gonna just blow your mind. Like, so I went further because I remember I told you Hellenization was taking place around the makings of the Old Testament and the New Testament, 300 BC all the way to 300 CE, that everybody was speaking until the Council of Nicaea. We all know that, which I'll be making a video about that real soon. But everybody was speaking Koine Greek at this time and using the Septuagint Bible. So don't forget about that. And I bring this up is because now, since the Old Testament was written down in Greek and everybody was speaking in Greek, early Jews and early Christians too, what does this word associate with? The light bringer, Lucifer, the light bringer. What does that associate with too? And you'll be really amazed what that associates with too. And what we're going to get to is right now is Greek mythology, ladies and gentlemen. And what it translates to is phosphorus. Phosphorus, Romanized phosphorus, is one of the astroplanetae, especially the god of the planet Venus, in its appearance as the morning star. Remember, in Latin, this is the morning star, and now in Greek, it's called phosphorus. This is Greek, and this is personified as a deity, ladies and gentlemen. But let's keep going because this is some deep scholarly work I'm giving you guys. Another Greek name for the morning star is Esophorus, Romanized Heosophorus, which means dawn bringer. The term eosphere is sometimes met in English as an adjective. The word phosphorus is applied in the sense of light bringer. Don't forget, I'm telling you, here's the connections. You got to put it together, ladies and gentlemen. For instance, the dawn of the god Dionysus, pine torches the day, and a torch bearing as an epitaph of several gods and goddesses, especially of Hecate, but also of Artemis, Diana, and Hephaestus. Seasonally, Venus is the light bringer in the northern hemisphere, appearing most brightly in December, an optical illusion due to shorter days, signaling the rebirth of longer days as winter wanes. Now, if you know how I do my videos, you know I like to take a step back to make sure we're all on the same page. I just showed you Isaiah 14:12, speaking about Lucifer, the light bringer, and actually Isaiah comparing to Venus, the star, falling and not rising at its higher heights because of Venus's travel around the sky, comparing it to the king of Babylon not ever being able to rise up and always failing. And I just showed you that in Latin, Lucifer only means the light bearer, which in reference is talking about Venus, astrology. And now I'm showing you that if we go further back into the Greek word of the light bearer, we're seeing now that it's actually a personified deity. And this is all in the Greek Septuagint that was used heavily for over 600 years until the Council of Nicaea. Any Greek-speaking Jew, any Greek-speaking Christian would have seen this and known this if they knew about mythology. And remember, this is the Hellenistic area. What is Greek doing? They're pushing their mythology and their customs on the people they conquered. And like I said, if you watch my last video, they own this land. I mean, nobody is putting these together, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody's going to give it to you like this. There is astrology hidden in the Bible right now. And when I point this out, most people are not going to look at it. They're going to be like, oh, no. But it's right there, ladies and gentlemen. You can't just read it in English. You're not getting a proper translation at all. You have to go back to Hebrew, and I'll say it in Greek too, because the Septuagint was used again widely, and I can't stress this enough. The Septuagint is one of the most important Bibles that you need to understand, and you need to see where it came from, because there's elements of astrology and mythology mixed into it. And I want to continue too when it comes to phosphorus, because what was interesting that I might add was that it talked about, because we know about if you know anything about phosphorus, you know about its cycles. And then, yes, there's phosphorus in the land and the plants and all around us, actually. And the phosphorus cycles are the weathering, absorption of the plants and animals, return to the environment via decomposition, and human impact on the phosphorus cycle. So I want to give you a dive deep on the cycle of the phosphorus cycle right here. And here's an article from biologicaldictionary.net. Phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus cycle is a process by which phosphorus moves through the lithosphere, hydrosphere, and biosphere. Phosphorus is essential for plant and animal growth, as well as the health of microbes inhabiting the soil, but is gradually depleted from the soil over time. The main biological function of phosphorus is that it is required for the formation of nucleotides. Whoa, this is where it gets deep, people, which comprise DNA and RNA molecules. Specifically, DNA double helix is linked by a phosphorus ester bond. Calcium phosphate is also the primary component of mammalian bones and teeth, insect exoskeletons, phosphide membranes of cells, and if used in a variety of other biological functions. And here's this right here. The phosphorus cycle is an extremely slow process. Various weather conditioning, rain and erosion, help to wash the phosphorus found in rocks into the soil. In the soil, the organic matter, plants and fungi, as an example, absorb the phosphorus to be used for various biological process. And that's crazy that you have phosphorus representing Venus being deified as a deity, but then now we have the phosphorus cycle, which is crucial to humans and to practically all life on Earth, and it doesn't even stop there, ladies and gentlemen. Another article from Harvard T.H. Chan that said, you all look this up yourself. I'd love to give you guys this phosphorus. Phosphorus is a mineral that naturally occurs in many foods and is also available as a supplement. It plays multiple roles in the body. It is a key element of bones, teeth, and cell membranes. It helps to activate enzymes and keeps blood pH within a normal range. Phosphorus regulates the normal function of nerves and muscles, including the heart, and is also a building block of our genes, ladies and gentlemen, as it makes up DNA, RNA, and ATP, the body's major source of energy. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, after seeing all of that information, because when I first learned this, because I'm not going to lie to you, I learned this years ago, I just couldn't put it in the right context for you all after starting my video, just starting my channel recently. But I was just like, what? I was starstruck, and I'm just like, this is all in the Bible? Yes. Again, people, there is astrology, there's mythology, Greek mythology at that. I told you, for my channel, there's something about Greeks, not in a bad way, not saying that, but you have to pay attention to the Greeks. In antiquity, they played a major role in a lot of things that I'll be diving deeper on later on in my later videos. But not only do you have astrology and mythology you actually have science portraying to us, and it all derives from this word phosphorus, which goes in sync with Venus. And if you haven't dropped your jaws, ladies and gentlemen, when I first learned this, I went crazy. Because not are they telling us all this, they're telling me, they're giving me science about my body, the nature of my body and how it functions. And did they know all this back in the day? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you, if you've been watching my videos, I keep telling you, the ancients weren't as dumb as they portray to be. These were smart people, ladies and gentlemen, highly educated people. With the technology that they had for their time, these were smart individuals, people. So don't put it against them at all. I keep saying, you have to dive deep. And again, I don't see any apologists. I don't see no preacher, nobody telling me that there's astrology in the Bible, clear to see in the Bible, when how what happens with words when we switch it to different languages. Things always get changed in mistranslation, ladies and gentlemen. So not only do you have to go back to Latin, you have to go back to Hebrew, because I just showed you that halal means shining one also in Hebrew. And then in Greek, lucifer only means phosphorus, the light bringer. All correlating to Venus, a female deity and mythology, if I might say. But all of this is right here. And if you don't understand astrology, or not going to go back to different languages, you're going to miss all of this. That's why I keep saying, and I'm going to say it right here, clear as day, there is an esoteric teaching in the Bible, and there's a way to decode it. You gotta just learn how to decode it, and it all comes from etymology, languages, and albeit astrology, as I just showed you. And there's multiple people talking about it too, not just me. And I'll give you all some book references actually too that I want to show. There's just so much that I can show you all. One, for instance, is Venus Star Rising by Ariel Cutman. I'm going to leave the link in the bio also, and I'll show a nice picture for you guys. That's what helped me out about Venus a lot. And Hellenistic Astrology by Chris Brennan was a good one. He details and talks about how this was all common knowledge back in the day. So I know these are hefty books. They're hefty books, but this is knowledge, people. This is knowledge I'm trying to give you guys all. But just want to show you guys that I'm not just spouting all this information. I do my work. So, but like I said again, you have to gravitate out a little bit when it comes to Bible if you want to know the truth. So, and there's more aspects when it comes to Venus I couldn't even get into, because that'll just take a whole video, to be honest with you. But if you read that one book I show you, Venus Rising, and you read it, you'll see it. But I will be touching more about Venus, because you'd be surprised about the occults love Venus a lot. The Freemasons, all these other fraternities, which I'm making a video about the Masons. I just wanted to compile it really good, but all these groups, they love Venus for a reason. And I'm going to show you why they love Venus esoterically. But yeah, I just really wanted to get this video out. Like I said, there's so much more I can cover, but it'll be a long video. I got so much more for you guys to come in. Keep studying, I'm telling you. Keep doing your research, because all this information is there. You can all do this yourselves. I am living testament of that. But anywho, thank you all for watching the channel. and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you.